Hello, dear students. In this video session, I am going to discuss about uh, the treatment of themes in the play Way of the World. Your topic for this session is treatment of themes in the Way of the World. Uh, how William Congreve in the play The Way of the World uh, uh, treats the themes is to be discussed in this session. That the treatment of themes. Every writing or any kind of writing, whether it's poetry, essay, or the play, or any kind of literature, any piece of writing, I want to say that any piece of writing should have a kind of theme. It should have some central theme or a central idea and message, a kind of philosophy, some values, principles, some ideals we see in every piece of writing. The Way of the World is popularly known as the play of comedy of manners of the Restoration period. Uh, Still, the title, The Way of the World, has many themes. It has no a particular theme as such. The themes were considered by, or they are, that is, recommended and identified and observed by the readers and the spectators and the critics as well. Let us see when we see the play or when we watch the play and read the play very closely. Let us see what are the probable and possible themes that we come across in the play Way of the World. The precise statement of the theme of work of art is always a little unsatisfactory. The precise statement of theme of a work of art is always little unsatisfactory. The theme that is given, treated in any work of art by the writer is different. And the reader, the critics, and the audience or spectators in the play, particularly, they give or they find various kinds of themes. It is a reader's response, we can say that. Therefore, we never particularize, fix a particular theme for a particular piece of writing or the work of art. Okay? Therefore, the themes that were given by uh, uh, the readers and the that is the audience in the play. Therefore, there is no single theme for any work of art. It is that is accepted. The pity sentence must omit a great deal. It always does violence to the whole work. Nevertheless, it is worth making the effort to determine the theme or the themes in a play as guide to study the analysis. To understand the play, and after reading the play, we are trying to find the theme of the whole play. Otherwise, we can't that is satisfy ourselves whether we watch or whether we read the play. Identifying the theme, a particular theme when we read, it depends on the knowledge of the reader. Uh, so here we see the various themes in the play. As a point of departure, it is valid to say that the theme of this play is given us by Congreve is the title We Have the World. Wonderful title, it was entitled by the William Congreve, that is Way of the World. Any way you look at the world, you can find such a kind of theme. Themes can be generalized and it can be decided by the knowledge of the audience and the reader of the play. Any title we can give and any theme we can understand, that depends on the reader of the play. All the events and characters of the play can be related to this central theme. The central theme that Congreve given us is the way of the world, as it is the title itself. There is a theme in the very title itself. It was respectively that is given by William Congreve. And the obvious criticism is that the same theme can be ascribed to unlimited number of other quite different novels and plays. Further, Congreve does not in this play seem to take a consistent position. Sometimes he is direct, sometimes ironic, sometimes he deplores, and sometimes he approves. At times he is amused, and most of the time his position is compound of all these attitudes. There were multiple attitude and vision and treatment in the play. We find uh, the Congreve himself. Let us see the first observed a probable, a considerable theme is game of love, and the play is around the love. Each and every character, whether it is minor, major characters, all are involving in the game of love in one way or the other way. Whether one is making love and making plot, and others are supporting him. It is a kind of intrigue they are making, and they are creating a kind of scandal on some characters. In the whole play we see the love, and the play is around the love. Love for money, and love for love, and love for beauty, and love for that is passion. These things that is the things that we find everywhere. Here, the first theme, the considerable theme, may be game of love. To get more satisfactory treatment, we might use different approaches that would give the better sense of the texture of the play. Most of the restoration playwrights supplied their plays with alternate titles or subtitles. It is quite common. Most of the restoration people, they never fix it for a particular title and theme for a particular play or any kind of work, as the Elizabethan writers did in the Jacobean period or in the Elizabethan period. Here it is common, that is a tendency of the writers, let the title be subtitle and or the title that can be considered by the either by the reader or by the spectator. It is left to them. Since Congreve did not, we might seek for the different subtitles that are appropriate sometimes. Each one would suggest a theme, although not the theme. These may put flesh on the bare bones the title gives us. love as a mode. The second important that is as it is love game as a mode. Love is treated as a mode, as a tool for the people to interact and to develop the whole play. It is the most important tool and mode for them. Certainly, the play can be seen as a dramatic presentation of the varieties of love in England of the year 1700. The central is the delicate handling of the love game as played by Mirabel and Milament in the play that we see that. And next, the third important that is the theme that we find here is that is love and money. How a love is an emotional factor and money is an object, and that is one is emotion, another is content. Love for money and money for love is quite complicated, but still it is loved and liked by the people. It is a passion for the people to get married for the money, and by giving money they are getting the love. Sometimes they would like to purchase the love. These things that we find in the way of the world. Even today, we see such a kind of attitude of the people everywhere. Right. They represent the ideal of the restoration attitude, both the love and the money. Intense yet balanced, their love based on mutual esteem with no other surrender of individuality. Contrasted with it are Mirabel's earlier and quite ambiguous love affair with Mrs. Fainall, the illicit love of Fainall's and Mrs. Marwood, presumably passionate, but wholly without mutual trust. The suspicious quote young Witwoud pays to Millamant. The direct and somewhat coarse approach of Sir Wilful, and at the opposite extreme completely, the aging and undignified longings of Lady Wishport, vain and unrealistic, overeager, desperate and little pathetic. Love and money play a dominant role in the whole play as theme. Such an approach is closely related to that of love mode, although they are not identical. In the world whose way is presented here, love and money are values to be taken into account at all times. Not only it is fixed for the restoration time in England. The sincerity of Mirabel's love does not make him lose sight of the importance of Millament's fortune. Though that is Mirabel is a sincere lover and a practical lover and emotional lover of Millament, still he is having his eye on the fortune of the Millament. That fortune is with Lady Wishfort. Fainals marries for money to support an illicit love, and apparently the thought of marrying Mrs. Marwood without adequate money is unthinkable. Money is Lady Whisper's sole hold over her child underward. Even the marriage of the servants it built on a promise of a handsome sum of money. This is the world's way. It is not the way of the lovers of the England. It is the ways of the world looking at the love, and they are running after the love for money and money for love. These things they are that is a blend together that we find in the attitude of all the people of the world. Love without money is an impossible sentimental dream. All money is often corrupts what love there is. This is the most valuable that is the element that you find here in the play. That next important theme that we can observe is that the gallery of portraits. There are many characters, the bunch of characters we find in the play. that is the way of the world, which were created by William Congreve. Both the minor and major characters, they were interrelated and interdependent in the introduce, and they are supporting making love and seeking man and making plots for money. These things are happening in the whole play. Congreve's statement in the dedication, the prologue, and the epilogue suggest that this might be a valid subtitle. Since this is the way of the world to put a premium on youth, Mirabel and Milament stand at the center, representing all that is to be commended. Mirabel is an ideal, poised, rational, and balanced, witty, and generous without being what might today all over intellectual. Millement is the belle, feminine, beautiful, witty, not prudish, but with a sense of her own worth. She has avoided the messiness and humiliations of sexual intrigue. Opposite to Mirabel or would be wit worthy, but graceless bore and deep intrigues. Opposite to elements are women who engaged in adultery and an old dowager without decorum. Every character reveals himself in action, and together they produce a gallery of self-portraits. And next important, the another important theme that we find is jungle of high intrigue that we find there too. That might be another theme. We can say that the play is full of intrigues, and the play is intrigue is important element in the comedy of manners and the sentimental comedy of retrovision period. This subtitle would focus attention on some of the values of the London society. Everyone is engaged in intrigue. Mirabel intrigues to gain consent to his marriage from Lady Wishford, and this involves intrigue, for he does not trust Waitwell final introduce in turn. Everyone is involved in one or other of these schemes. Mrs. Fainal and Mrs. Marwood and other servants. Even the Lady Wishford is in her willingness to marry Sir Rowland as a devious purpose revenge on Mirabel. When Mrs. Fainal married her husband, that was part of an intrigue, as was his marriage to her. And as you see in the play, victory goes to Mirabel, not because of his virtue, but simply because he is the most successful intriguer. Certainly, all these possible subtitles, rather than anyone, add up to the jungle of high that is that is introduced. We find that this is how we can see the many more subtitles as the themes of the way of the world that we can observe when we study the whole play thoroughly. Now I am going to put an end to this session with this that is observation the whole play regarding the themes. Thank you for listening regarding the themes in the play Way of the World written by William Congreve. Meet in the next session. Thank you very much for listening this.